They called me Tarrare, though that was not the name I was born with. My real name has been lost to time, just like much of my dignity. I came into this world in rural France around 1772, in a peasant family that could barely feed itself. From the beginning, I was different. Even as a child, I could never eat enough. My parents were poor people, but they did their best. Still, I devoured more than all of them combined. When I was 17, they could no longer afford to feed me, and I was sent away to wander the roads of France, searching for food, work, and perhaps a reason for the hunger that gnawed at me day and night. I joined a band of thieves and vagabonds, surviving on scraps, garbage, and whatever I could steal or scavenge. But hunger never left me. It grew like a fire that consumed my insides. Eventually, I made my way to Paris, where I found that my strange condition could earn me money, not through honest labor, but through spectacle. I began performing in the streets, swallowing stones, corks, live animals, anything that amazed the crowd. People called me a monster and a marvel at once. I could eat an entire basket of apples, a live cat, or a dozen eggs without pause. They threw coins, and I threw whatever I could down my throat. When the French Revolution came, I enlisted in the army of the Republic, hoping at last to find purpose and food enough to satisfy me. But even there, the rations were too small. I ate my share and those of my comrades, yet hunger still tore at my belly. I would sneak into the kitchens, devour scraps, search for leftovers in the dung heap. My fellow soldiers mocked me, sometimes beat me, but I could not stop. It wasn't greed, it was survival, or something deeper, something I could not name. My superiors eventually took notice. I was brought before the doctors of the army hospital in Saulce-au-Rhin, where I met Dr. Corville and later the famous Dr. Pierre-François Percy. They studied me like a curiosity. They said I was of average height, but thin as a skeleton, though I could eat enough for 20 men. My mouth, they said, was enormous, my skin loose and hanging in folds, stretching to hold the mountains of food I swallowed. My odor was unbearable, a sickly, sweet stench that filled the room when I entered. My body steamed with heat, I sweated constantly and could never feel full for more than an hour. Dr. Percy grew fascinated by me. He tested me, weighing the food I consumed. One day he gave me a meal meant for 15 laborers, and I ate it all. Another time, I swallowed a live eel without chewing. The soldiers laughed, but I only felt shame. I wanted to stop, but I couldn't. The hunger always came back. It was Dr. Percy who proposed using me as a courier for the Republic. Because of my strange body, I could swallow documents sealed in wooden boxes, carry them through enemy lines, and later retrieve them from my body. It sounded absurd, but I accepted. I would have done anything to be useful. They tested me by making me swallow a message sealed inside a box. 2 days later, it passed from me intact. Satisfied, the general sent me on a mission into Prussian territory, but the mission was a disaster. I was captured almost immediately. The Prussians beat and interrogated me, thinking I was a spy, which, in truth, I was. After 2 days of torture, I confessed. They searched my excrement, found the box, and discovered the message inside, which, to my horror, contained nothing of importance. The Prussians nearly hanged me, but at the last moment, they spared my life and threw me out near the French lines. I returned to Dr. Percy, broken and humiliated. I swore I would never serve again. After that, my mind began to fail. My hunger became even worse, and darker urges grew inside me. I would sneak into the hospital morgue and try to eat the bodies of the dead. The nurses caught me once, and from that day, I was watched constantly. The doctors were horrified. They ordered me to be confined to a madhouse, but I escaped and vanished for a time. Years later, in 1798, I reappeared at a hospital in Versailles, ill and emaciated. My body was collapsing, I could barely walk. I told the doctors that I had swallowed a golden fork years earlier and thought it was tearing my insides apart. Dr. Percy came to see me one last time. He still pitied me, despite all I had done. When he examined my corpse after my death, he found my body in a state of horror, my stomach enormous, my intestines rotting, and the smell so putrid that even the strongest men fled the room. The golden fork was never found. They say I died at 26. I never knew peace, only hunger. As I think back, I wonder what cursed my body this way. Some said it was divine punishment, others called it madness. But Dr. Percy had another idea, one that modern physicians might now understand better. Perhaps I suffered from a disorder of the hypothalamus, the part of the brain that controls hunger and satiety. Or maybe it was polyphagia caused by hypothyroidism, or a rare metabolic disease, which made my body burn through food faster than I could eat it. Whatever it was, it consumed me from within, turning me into a creature of appetite, a man whose life was devoured by hunger itself. That was my curse, and my name, Tarrare, will forever be remembered not for who I was, but for what I could never stop eating.